Welcome to our 5 on 5. Please be joined again today by Medford City Manager Brian Sjothun. Good to see you, sir.
You too.
Thanks for being here. Governor just inaugurated the other day, gave a State of the State address. What is the state of the city in 2019?
Well, we're really looking forward to our upcoming budget process. When I say really looking forward to it is addressing the $11.29 million increase that we're going to have as a result of PERS, healthcare, and negotiated employee wages. So we're going to be up against it, being able to still provide the same services that we do, but like I said, we're looking forward to the challenge and being able to work with our council and the budget committee and coming up with a budget that will keep us status quo.
There are 7 applicants for the open Ward 4 City Council seat held previously by now Medford State Representative Kim Wallan. What's the process and the timeline for appointing the newest councilor?
Well, this Thursday, the council will select 5 members of Ward 4 Citizens Committee. I believe that we have 9 folks that have applied for that. And so once that is selected this Thursday evening, the following Thursday on the 24th of January is when the Citizens Committee and the council will interview the 7 council candidates individually. The Citizens Committee will make a recommendation or an endorsement to the council, and then the council will debate amongst themselves who they would like to appoint to that position, which would be the first meeting in February.
Okay, has the city been affected at all by the partial government shutdown?
We haven't seen anything yet, other than I think it may trickle to this area once we see that folks are, if food stamps are not being provided, or those subsidies that were provided to folks. I know hopefully the state's been talking about what they can do, but we haven't been really affected by it yet.
Okay, I'm curious, it's been a little over 2 years since MPD moved out of City Hall. What's the status with, is that almost the entire second floor of City Hall? What's the status with that? What are you guys doing there?
Well, they moved out of most of second floor and also the first floor. So we've gone through a space analysis. So we took a look at what our space needs are for the next 20 years. And that will be presented a little bit later in this calendar year to the council. So in the meantime, we've relocated some of the services, utility billing, HR, to the ground floor, so because that's a lot of folks from the public access those services, and that we are in the process of moving our city attorney's office from the 3rd floor to the 2nd floor that used to be where the investigators and the detectives were, which will allow more space not only for the city attorney's office but also our finance department as well. So incrementally over time we will be implementing this facilities plan, and we're also potentially looking at maybe even adding a 3rd or 4th floor to the Losman Annex over the next 20 years.
Wow, interesting. Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Much more in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Medford City Manager Brian Sjothun. Brian, I want to ask you about the homeless work that the city's doing downtown. Where do we stand with some of that?
Well, Angela Durant from our planning department is working with a consultant to be able to develop a homeless plan that is taking a full assessment of what we have already in place in Medford and where our gaps in services are. So that will be complete in March and will be presented to the city council. And at that point, we are hoping that the council will then try to develop a coordinated plan, not only for potentially trying to find services for individuals, but also outreach to the county and also our bordering municipalities about being able to partner. And it has really fallen upon Medford and Ashland to be the service providers, because that's where most of the population is. So like I said, once we know where our gaps in services are and who can provide those services, I think you're going to see rapid, I won't say improvement in the situation, but we're going to be working towards this solution.
The city gets 3% from recreational marijuana sales. I think a couple months ago, late November, we reported $840,000 to the city in the last year and a half. Obviously, it's a little more now since then. But what is the city planning to do with all that money?
Well, that's a great question, and it's something that we've posed to our budget committee and our council about. It's going to be about $1.3 million when we close our fiscal year on June 30th. So we're also planning on collecting another $1.3 million in the next biennium. So I think it's a tough thing for our policymakers to decide, and I think we're going to be bringing the budget committee back in late February, early March. At that point, we're going to know where our holes are in our budget because of the $11.29 million increase. A lot of folks will say the 1.3 or million won't be able to fill a lot of those holes, but I think it will be able to help offset some of that sting.
Good to see you, Brian. Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much. Stay with us. We'll be right back.